Howdy folks, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, the Mighty Bjorn, and today for you I have a Kingdom Come Deliverance video. Going to give you a quick recap. Previous video, if you didn't see it, finally got the Trebuchet assembled, set up, zeroed in, and launched a round, essentially a boulder at Talmberg Castle. Now, there's some time skip in between where there's about a week. I think it's 4 or 5 days where you really don't do anything. You can go off and do secondary quests, side quests, wrap things up. But essentially, the game gives you a couple days before you actually attack Talmberg Castle itself, and it'll let you know. Game will let you know when you're ready to attack Talmberg Castle. So we're fast forwarding here a little bit, and you're actually seeing the attack on Talmberg Castle itself, the siege. Anyway, folks, I'm going to shut up now, let you enjoy the footage. And then I will join you at the end of the video, and I'm going to actually do a little bit more talking, a little bit more historical standpoint of why things were done the way they were done, especially in how they did it in Kingdom Come Deliverance. Anyway, folks, hopefully you enjoy the footage.
Yeah. Yeah. Since Sir Divish's colours still aren't flying over Talmberg, I suppose we'll be attacking.
Just so. That Istvan's a stubborn bastard.
All right, when do we start?
There's no reason to wait. Are you really ready? If you need to rest or anything, we can still wait. You won't have another chance until we've won the day. Or until your final rest.
I'm ready.
Glad to hear it. We're going to attack on two fronts. The north gate and the west wall, which will scale with ladders. The attack will be split into different stages. Taking the outer walls, the inner bailey, and finally the core of the castle and the tower.
How are we going to attack the gate?
We'll try to do as much damage as we can with the Trebuchet first. Keezer claims he can even hit it directly. Even if that's true, we'll have to charge through a downpour of enemy arrows all the way to the portcullis.
Portcullis?
Fortunately, it's wooden, so we'll be able to break it down. But dealing with the defense in the bailey won't be easy.
And what's the plan for attacking the west wall?
First, we have to get men to the wall with ladders, which is no easy matter under fire, so we'll need as many men covering them as possible. As soon as the ladders are in place, our foot soldiers will run up and try to scale the wall. Once a few of them get to the battlements, we should quickly gain the upper hand.
How will we take the battlements?
Either by scaling the west wall, or our men at the gate will help. If they can break through, that is.
And the inner bailey?
That will be tough. Even if we get through the gate and into the outer bailey, we're still a long way from victory. The castle is designed so we'll be like hens in a coop to anyone with a bow on the inner battlements. We'll have to either fight our way through, or somehow get around them.
What about the living quarters?
There, I'm worried most about the hostages. Once we're inside, Istvan will know defeat is inevitable, but we'll still have to fight for each and every room.
I think I've heard everything I need to know.
Do you want to join the attack on the walls or on the gate? Remember, many of the Skalitz men will follow you. It could make a big difference.
I'll help with the attack on the walls.
I'm proud of you, Henry. You've changed from an insolent pup into a tough, reliable fighter. And as God is my witness, we will kick those whore sons' arses.
A village lad and an old soldier? Istvan must be shaking in his boots.
If he's not shaking, then he doesn't know what he's got coming. Just one last thing, though. No matter how good the plan is, something always gets fucked up. Keep your eyes open and take advantage of every chance. Help your comrades and don't go rushing in where you're outnumbered. We have to take the castle gradually, one position after another.
I'll remember that.
Good luck to you, stripling.
Good luck to you, old soldier.
See you later.
We've got them! And now from the south! We'll charge them from the rear!
Sir, we should give the order.
Let's see if Istvan Toth can worm his way out of this one.
Don't tempt fate, Hanish.
Istvan! It's over! You want us to come and get you?
I wouldn't advise that. Your friend Divish wants to see his wife alive again.
And Sir Radzig? Are both hostages unharmed?
For now, Hanush, unless circumstances change.
I'm glad to hear it. My guest is also safe and sound, but he's also quite keen to go home. I imagine you feel the same way. It's been a long time since you warmed yourself at your own hearth.
I'm in no hurry. I've plenty of supplies here, grand view and excellent company. What more could I want?
Your freedom!
Freedom? Freedom to get an arrow in the back?
Sir, we're all noblemen here, all bound by honor. I give you my word as a knight and lord, and that of my companions. If you release Lady Stephanie and Sir Radzig, you may leave the castle with your men and go on your way unharmed.
And just how far will we get? What good will it do me if your men attack us in the woods instead of here?
If you give me your word of honor that you will leave and never return, I promise you safe passage to the boundary of this fiefdom. What happens after that is up to you and the will of God Almighty.
Very well then, but I want a small safeguard. I'll give you her ladyship, but Radzig comes with me. I'll release him in Skalitz.
Out of the question! Is our word not good enough for you?
Is mine not good enough for you? I swear I'll release him when I get to a safe distance.
I'll go with him, Hanush. Let the Lady Stephanie have her freedom now.
Father!
Don't worry, son. I trust Lord Toth's self-interest more than his word. He wouldn't be fool enough to harm me.
If you're certain, Radzig.
Prepare horses and supplies, and tell your men to pull back. We'll come down.
You heard him. Get to work. And any man who breaks this truce answers to me.
So are you really going to let them go?
My word is my bond, Henry.
He's a cutthroat and a liar. Good men are dead because of him. What's to stop us from skewering him as soon as he sets foot outside?
Our honor.
If you let him go, he'll do the same again. Or worse.
God's justice will find him. And then he'll get a taste of my mace.
If we break our word of honor, we have none. And without honor, we are nothing. Never fear. Your father will be all right.
We'll hunt down those vermin yet.
Bring the horses.
Here she is, as I promised. Not a hair on her head harmed.
Divish,
Stephanie.
forgive me, husband. I'm sorry
For what?
for letting them into the castle.
Come now, my dear. You're not to blame.
I didn't know who he was. He said he was your friend.
Never mind. Did he hurt you?
No.
I hope your word can be trusted.
Certainly more than yours.
If everything goes as agreed, I'll set Radzig free in Skalitz. If anyone tries to follow us, I'll kill him.
We won't.
My apologies for keeping you from your father, but you'll see each other soon enough. Oh, I almost forgot. Your sword. I expect you'll want it back after all the trouble you went to. Actually, you know what? I think I'll keep it. As a memento.
This isn't over. I'll find you.
I look forward to it. Yeah!
Quick! To the battlements! We have to see which way they go! Oh, they really are heading for Skalitz. Mount up, Henry. You've heard what he'll do if we follow them. We're not going to follow them. We just have to collect your father. Or do you want him to walk back here when they release him?
All right, folks, that's actually the end of the game footage there, but I'm going to talk a little bit about medieval castle sieges and information I know about, the historical information I know about them. One thing is they are extremely dangerous. That's one reason why they were done the way they were done, where you would lay siege And the sieges you would lay would be actually over an extended period of time. You would surround the castle, prevent the castle itself from getting any supplies, and then you'd use catapults or trebuchets, which is what they used in Kingdom Come Deliverance. Now, at the time period that the game was set in, cannons actually would have been available, so would have rifles and crossbows, even though they're not available in game, which would have changed some factors on how the siege would have commenced and how long they would have laid siege for. But sieges could have went anywhere from a week to, I believe, the longest siege I seen was almost a month, where they would essentially surround the castle itself, and then they would use catapults and things of that nature to destroy the castle walls, do as much damage as they could to the castle walls. Other things they would actually do as well is they would actually launch dead bodies and as well as cattle, dead cattle, into the castles themselves to hopefully either poison the water or the food supplies, maybe start with plague. The other things that would happen as well is because of how castle sieges were done, the longer they were done, the more effective they actually were. Now, here in the game, it was only about a week. And there's other factors too, is we actually at one point reinforcements were spotted and we had cut those reinforcements off. That is actually an important factor because that would actually lower the morale of the defenders inside the castle, as well as using the trebuchets as well. With all that still in mind, it's still a very dangerous business laying siege. Other factors that would come in place too is battering rams. Battering rams would have to be used. Somehow you'd have to raise the gates to get more troops in there quickly. But essentially, initially, sieges would start with scaling the walls with ladders, and that was actually very dangerous work because the defenders above, they would either have rocks, bricks, or boulders, whatever. They would throw them down on top of you while you were trying to climb the ladders. They would try to knock the ladders off the walls, which, from what I understand, the ladders did have spikes to help hook in, kind of sink into the wall, which would prevent any defenders from knocking the ladder off, but that wasn't necessarily a guarantee. And basically, the whole idea of laying siege to a castle and actually assaulting a castle was just very dangerous work, and there's a lot of factors that was involved in them. Even Sun Tzu, who wrote The Art of War, he felt that castle sieges was actually something that should not be committed to because of the amount of troops, supplies, and gain you would get from actually laying siege to a castle. That being said, in medieval Europe, it was done a lot differently, where sieges were actually commenced on a regular basis when it came to wartime, war-type affairs. And as you see there, the siege was actually pretty effective. Now, that being said, as you could see during the video, I threw a lot of thrust, and that was because of having allies in the area, as well as the fighting areas were very condensed and hard to fight. Would have been hard to fight in. I was using a long sword there, or per se a bastard sword, which actually would have been hard to use within the confines of the castle wall, but I used it fairly effectively, although every once in a while, an ally would step in the way of a sword blow. But anyway, that being said, folks, we're getting really close to the end here. I think I might only have 1 or 2 more videos for Kingdom Come Deliverance. But anyway, folks, hopefully you all have enjoyed the series so far. And thank you, everyone who's been watching the series, liking the videos, and sharing them when you have a chance. Things of that nature. Anyway, I'm going to wrap the video up at that. Hopefully everyone enjoyed it. And have yourself a wonderful day.